Hey, listen. When it comes down to musicians, most of them have really bad taste. I'm not trying to say that to be mean. I'm saying it because it's a fact. And sometimes, every once in a while, people nail the style, especially as they get rich. I would say Tyler, the Creator, probably has one of the best styles out there when it comes to like what I like. Now, as you kind of get, you know, a little bit richer, you start to get a little bit more money, which means you sometimes get a car collection. And I'm here to review if Drake has a decent car collection, because honestly, you may not, okay? You may have 170 million copies sold, all right? But I have 6 cats. So I'm Alex.Martini with 2 underscores on Instagram, and today we're talking about cars. More specifically, we're talking about Drake's car collection. We're giving it a good old rating. You wanna know why? Because I just feel like you need to. Every once in a while, sometimes there's hidden gems. This is his hidden gem. I don't care that he's got Bentleys and Rolls Royces and all that typical stuff. What I care about is his first car. His first car was a Chevy Malibu. Okay, I don't have a picture of it, but I would give that thing a solid 8 out of 10. His first one that we can actually see though is a TSX, an Acura, which by the way, I wanted when I was 16. So Drake and I are actually pretty close, okay? I mean, besides this and a Malibu, what other cars would you actually need? The Acura TL makes a great beginner modification car as well, because you can throw it on some air, put it on some VSKFs, throw it on some Falcon tires, and you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. I had a friend of mine, Jesse, used to have one, absolutely loved it. The cars were fantastic because they're still Hondas, so everything that you could possibly want in a reliable car was great. Now, that's the only 2 reliable cars I think we're gonna be able to talk about in this list of cars. It's also probably the only 2 that I think are more relatable than the other ones on the other side of the fence. But up for number 3, because this man's got like $11 million in his car collection, I think a lot of them are taken up by probably these like 4 or 5. Number 1, a McLaren SLR, okay? So just so you guys know, Mercedes-Benz made an SLR McLaren. It was a joint venture between Mercedes-Benz and, can you guess it? Ford. Just kidding, it was with McLaren. And it was done during their joint F1 partnership thing. And the SLR stands for Sport Like Rennsport. I'm not gonna say anything in a different language because I butcher it. I tried practicing my Japanese because I'm actually in Japan right now by the time this video gets posted, and I'm terrible at it, okay? Half Hispanic, last name Martinez, and I still mess up all of it. But hey, these 2 guys were actually partners. McLaren, Mercedes-Benz, they came out with the SLR McLaren, and it is gorgeous. I would argue the SLR McLaren is probably one of my favorite cars to ever come from Mercedes-Benz outside of the Gullwing, and maybe, just maybe, their GTR. I love the way that they look. Okay, this one though is a $750,000 car, and it was shown in the music video, What's Next? Now here's the thing, I don't care that it was in a music video. What I care is that it was a Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. I modified the ever-living shit out of that car at the end of that game, and whooped Razor's ass, okay? That's all that matters. I would give this car the same rating as the Chevy Malibu. 8 out of 10. Could be better. Why? Because I just feel like this is one of those pick-me-up cars that you get because you have the money. Unless he was looking for this car, I'm not entirely sure why he'd pick up an SLR outside of the fact that it was just available. Next up though, we got a Brabus 850 6-liter bi-turbo coupe, and which is also just striking a chord to me because Brabus has this weird thing where either their cars are super gorgeous or god-awful ugly. Like there's no in between with a Brabus. I never know what to expect, which by the way, fun fact, Brabus also made like a Mini Cooper Brabus, a little like Fiat Brabus, like a smart car Brabus. It was a smart car Brabus. That was a real thing. So they like work on anything. They're just really fine-tuned to Mercedes-Benz, but they also have partnerships with Mercedes-Benz and some of the other brands that Mercedes-Benz works with. Don't quote me on that, I don't work at Brabus, but what I can say is that they had a smart car Brabus when I saw it when I was in California one time, which was pretty interesting. This one though, not a smart car, okay? This is an 850, it's a massive car. These cars came tuned in a different way because Brabus tunes them. 850 horsepower and 1,069 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty much a diesel truck at that point. Top speed though is not diesel truck speed. It's 217 miles an hour, just in case you really needed to get there. Now, the car is cool, a little bit gaudy when you start getting into it just because Brabus is Brabus, but hey, I don't mind them. I saw a couple of the Brabuses out there in California one time. I noticed that they all had fake vents. This one probably has fake vents somewhere because it's still a Mercedes-Benz, so because of that, this thing gets a 7. Yeah, we're doing that. Next up, The Bugatti Veyron Noir. Okay, I probably butchered that too. And guess what? Still gonna have my spotted cow when I'm done with this, like nothing ever happened. The Bugatti Veyron though, the Noir, was actually a limited edition production type, just like all Bugatti Veyrons these days. This one though is one of 12. Apparently Drake owns the only one in Canada. It took me until I was 25 years old to realize Drake was from Canada because I'm not in the music thing. Now, this one specifically comes from the Type 57S Atlantic, which was another car from way back in the day. It was meant to be reminiscent of a bird, like a sleek, predatory bird that's like all black. It had naked carbon fiber. It's got naked carbon pretty much everywhere. Sleek exterior. His had like a red leather interior, I think it was. Otherwise, they do come with a red leather interior, which is pretty cool. The moniker though of the Sang Noir literally means black blood. Okay, I think this car is actually pretty neat. I really do, mostly because I think Veyrons are so insanely crazy cool cars that they're overstated by like the general public. Like people don't care about them because they are so elite. But when you actually get to see them and the craftsmanship in those cars, they remind me a little bit of like a Pagani Zonda, just more so on the engine side than on the design side. And that's why I really like Bugatti Veyrons, even though I probably will never own one. Now, we've been nice to him, but he's got some ugly shit too, okay? Mercedes Maybach G650 Landaulet. Listen, I don't care how many different fancy trim names you put at the end of it. If I can't say it, it's immediately getting docked. Okay, this thing is ugly as shit. It's an SUV. There's only 99 G series of these SUV things ever made, and apparently it's worth $1.8 million. Okay, I don't make the rules, and the sources trust me, bro. Okay, this bad boy gets a 5 out of 10. The thing with like Maybach too is very borderline gorgeous, very borderline disgusting to look at. And any SUV from like Mercedes-Benz that looks like a ginormous tank, but then has the top half of it removed because they also want to cater to rich moms, or in this case, Drake.
21. Do something for me.
That, 5 out of 10, all right? Speed round though, of course Drake owns a Rolls-Royce Wraith. They're very, very cool cars, very comfortable, all right? But I think they're basic, all right? As a rapper, they're just basic. To me, they are the car enthusiast Subaru WRX. They are the BRZ. They are the, I'm not gonna say it. They are the base model non-V8 Ford Mustang. I just don't think there's much special about them in the rap game, okay? Get some class. Be like my boy Tyler. You just never know what he's gonna say or what he's gonna own, but every single time you look at it, you're like, man's got taste, all right? Mercedes Maybach S600 Pullman. Not cool, not typical. Really weird to look at. Kind of looks like a limo. I get it, like the chauffeur style, lifestyle thing, like show the class. Drake's a big classy guy, but
4.
Okay, unconfirmed though, somebody has stated, or he has stated, that he also owns a Devel 16. Apparently this person, it's either Wheelchair Jimmy, I don't know who that is, don't murder me, or Drake owns this car. But it's like on 5-6 different articles, so we're gonna talk about it. Okay, first off, the Devel 16 is an insanely unique car. It's very light, it's very fast, it's practically a Formula 1 car. It's a quad turbo, 12.3 liter V16 with a top speed of 300 miles an hour. And it looks absolutely wild. If the thing was painted black and you were to throw a couple of those ankle cutters on it, you know, the things where people put the spikes at the end of their diffusers, it probably looked like the Batmobile. In which case, that is super sick, but I could never imagine Drake actually owning that car. That car looks too difficult to actually look rich in. It looks like an actual race car. So my official statement is he probably doesn't own it, but if I could and he did, the rating definitely is a 7, all right? Nobody's taking the spot of the Malibu and nobody's taking the spot of the Acura. Literally, here's the Acura right there. Look at it. Just drove around in the city in my first car, Acura TSX, and found my ex-girlfriend's R&B mix CD. Hashtag epic. I hope I said TSX in every single mention of the TSX that he had, because if I didn't, my editor is going to freaking murder me. But hey, you guys let me know what you would give a rating to the good old Drake Master Fresh. And of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, by the way, if you're looking to pick up a t-shirt and support past, just hanging out and talking to me, you can do that over at alexmartini.net. We got a new embroidered tee. We have a poster, we've got some hats, and we're introducing a sweatshirt, and we're trying to do some more cool stuff as we go more into the scene. So really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Alex.Martini with 2 underscores on Instagram, and today we had a chance to talk about cars. We will see you later. Adios. 21, can you do something for me?